Hey friends, welcome to Tuesday, August the 30th, and today's episode of Enough for Today. We are in Psalm 59, so turn there with me, and we'll be brief today because I just want to look at two verses and share one thought with you. So David is rehearsing God as a deliverer, and in the first paragraph of the Psalm, verses 1 through 7, he is praying for God to intervene and to deliver him and to awaken, to come to his help. To rise up in his defense and to deliver him. He then profiles his enemies, and that's where we left off yesterday. He calls them wicked transgressors. He says that the mighty have risen up against him. This is about Saul appointing spies to go to David's house and to spy him out and look for an opportunity to kill him. And so verses 6 and 7 just strike me that it's kind of funny language, but let's read it, and then I want to share one thought with you. They return at evening. So these spies are coming around his house in the evenings, in the dark. They make a noise like a dog. Now, I wonder if David is a little tongue-in-cheek there. You know, these are animals. These are pets of Saul. They're not interested in justice. They're dishonorable. I'm trying to think of the word. They're bottom feeders of humanity, okay? They're just doing Saul's dirty work. These are criminal people, and they're just like dogs, okay, in David's mind and to society, to culture as a whole. They make a noise like a dog. They go around about the city. These are troublemakers. They're just you can buy them off easy. They'll do your dirty work. They live in that underground, okay? They go round about the city. Look at verse 7. Behold, they belch out with their mouth. They stink. And what comes out of them is corrupt. It's profane. It's vile. Dogs are just, I'm not talking about your cute pet at home. Dogs that live in the streets in Middle Eastern countries are just nasty, vile, mangy animals. They're just homeless. They're just into everything. They're looking for trash. They're scroungers. They'll eat anything. So this is the kind of person David is profiling that's looking for an opportunity to kill him. They're like dogs. They belch out with their mouth. They're vile. There's a stench about them, both spiritually and culturally and probably physically. Swords are in their lips. So the words that they speak are nothing but destructive. Lies, deception. They're just the worst kind of people. They've wholly given themselves over to living in corruption, okay? Immersed their whole selves in corruption, and their mouths are corrupt. For who say they doth hear? Here's the bottom line of these people. They are godless. They're in their economy, in their morality, in their construct, their worldview is there is no God. So that leaves you with more, in modern terms, like an evolutionary model, an evolutionary worldview that it's survival of the fittest. It's dog eat dog. It's the strong eat the weak. And so these beings, these people, these spies have condescended to the lowest state of being as human beings. And their conscience reasoning is, who hears us? Who's going to do anything about it? The king is the one that hired us. There's no higher authority than the king. So who is there to come after us? So incredibly presumptuous and incredibly profane people. So here's my thought today, okay? Is that a follower of Jesus is really is to be the opposite of all of these things. That we're not to be involved in injustice. We're not to involve ourselves in profanity and in communications that are destructive and wicked in their nature. We're not to be prowling around looking for trouble and involving ourselves with people that do. You remember these Psalms, this is David's private walk with God. as he's escaping Saul's hand, it becomes a song. It becomes a teaching mechanism for the families of Israel for generations to come. And so David is really giving a good profile of a godless person. And any ancient Hebrew would have wanted to turn this around and said, this is what we don't do. This is who we don't become. And when I think of the vileness within and the swords of the lips, I just think, Lord, I want to be the exact opposite of that. I want to go into my week and my day, and I want the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart to be pleasing in the sight of God and to be edifying to the people that I will be sent to today. And some of those people might even be, in your own mind, your enemies. But you've been given a mission to be the opposite of belching out with your mouth and swords in your lips and a conscience that's seared and a presumptuous spirit that says, nobody cares, nobody hears me. Listen, God does care. Every word you speak today, every meditation of your heart today matters to God, whether it glorifies Him, whether it edifies others, whether it magnifies Jesus. And so my challenge to you today is ask God's grace and God's Spirit to empower you to be the very opposite in profile of verses 6 and 7. So we'll park it there. Happy Tuesday. We'll pick it up tomorrow in verse 8, and we'll move forward into God the Judge. Have a great day.